like that, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA, the team owners, the Players Association, in the split of an instance, all of it can change. In a split instance, all of it can change. If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
The WNBA thought they could rough up Caitlin Clark every night and fans would just cheer like it's a middle school game. But after Clark was body checked like it was Game 7 of the NHL Finals, fans aren't just upset, they're boycotting like it's Black Friday and the refs took their coupons. The league wanted more physicality, but now it has a full-blown protest on its hands. Who knew that pushing for tougher play would backfire, hitting both ticket sales and morale? Buckle up, because this saga is just getting started as fans demand respect for their MVP and a fair game.
It was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad injury. Could this injury have been prevented? Can the Indiana Fever win without her? And what does this mean for the WNBA?
The WNBA believed this season would be smooth sailing, ratings climbing, jerseys flying off shelves, and Fever games drawing Taylor Swift-sized crowds. But just when things looked perfect, Caitlin Clark's quad injury changed everything. Now she's sidelined, fans are furious, and social media is ablaze with frustration. Behind closed doors, league officials are scrambling to manage the chaos while putting on a brave face. The excitement has turned into concern as the season's momentum stalls and questions swirl about Clark's recovery and the league's future. It's clear this season's drama is far from over, and the WNBA's calm is officially broken.
Get in the back. We know Caitlin Clark was lost yesterday to an injury for at least 2 weeks. Now, the thing about it is they're going to reevaluate in 2 weeks. And of course, man, these teams, I told you earlier, these WNBA franchises that moved games like the Chicago Sky to the, United Arena, you're screwed. You're done. You're cooked. Nobody is going to show up to this thing. Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent.
Clark's out for 2 weeks with a strained quadriceps. No tear, no fracture, but enough to throw the league into chaos. Her thigh basically took a vacation, leaving the Fever's star player on the sideline while the WNBA frantically tries to keep the spotlight shining. The reactions? Let's just say they've been anything but subtle. In fact, they've sparked full-blown public meltdowns. Fans, analysts, and players are voicing their frustrations, worried about the league's momentum and Clark's recovery. It's a tense moment, and everyone's watching closely to see how the WNBA handles this unexpected setback.
Oh my God, guys, breaking news. Caitlin Clark is hurt. I didn't believe it when I saw it myself. She's injured. She has a quad injury, a left quad injury. It's a quadriceps strain, and the team announced today, about 2 hours ago, she's going to be out 2 weeks at the minimum. 2 weeks. Without Caitlin Clark, this team is finished.
Clark's diehard fans, arguably the most passionate, merch-obsessed, Twitter-locked supporters since Michael Jordan's era, are already staging emotional protests. They've turned a minor injury into what feels like a full-blown revolution. Tweets scream, "I'm done watching until Clark returns. This league isn't worth it without her," and boycott the WNBA. These fans are acting like the league personally insulted their family or stole their pets. Meanwhile, other players are out here saying, "Hey, we're still here." But the online world responds with a cold, "Not now, sweetheart." The drama around Clark's absence has ignited a firestorm of reactions, loud, intense, and impossible to ignore.
If it's the latter, it could mean that Caitlin Clark could potentially miss the rest of the season. This 2-week timetable that people are running with, that's just when Caitlin Clark is going to be reevaluated. As of now, she will be reevaluated on June 9th. That does not mean, and it's highly unlikely, that June 9th or shortly thereafter is when Caitlin Clark is cleared to return.
And in Indiana, they're suddenly getting a taste of life without their star, Caitlin Clark. The Caitlin Clark Show has temporarily gone off the air, leaving Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to keep the franchise afloat with sheer grit and determination. Mitchell's out here playing like she's got 3 lungs, pushing through exhaustion, while Boston's rebounding like she's battling ghosts. Coach Stephanie White is rewriting game plans on the fly like she's in the Hunger Games. Surprisingly, the Fever might just stay competitive. Why? Because their upcoming opponents have been about as threatening as lukewarm soup. No offense, Chicago Sky. Well, maybe just a little. Still, Indiana's resilience could surprise us all in the coming weeks, even without their superstar.
There's no way every team's going to come at them and try to take them out, especially without Caitlin. They're going to lose some games here, and that's going to set them back. It's really hard to believe this, but yeah, she's out. There's no other details. When did this happen? Could have happened in this game. We're not sure. Most likely at a practice yesterday. She's out for 2 weeks, man.
Let's be honest. The most entertaining aspect of the WNBA right now isn't the scoreboard, the highlight reels, or even the games themselves. It's watching the league scramble to keep up the illusion that everything's business as usual while the star of the show, Caitlin Clark, is benched out before her injury. Clark wasn't just a contender for MVP, she was the MVP. The entire narrative. Some tried to downplay her, saying she was just good for a rookie. That's like saying Beyoncé is just a singer. Please. Clark wasn't just putting up impressive numbers, she was single-handedly dragging her franchise back into relevance. A one-woman rescue mission. Her presence skyrocketed ratings, sold out arenas, drew celebrity shout-outs, and had fans in the nosebleeds rocking homemade, glitter-infused jerseys. She didn't just bring excitement, she rebooted the league's entire algorithm. We're talking record-breaking viewership, packed arenas, and merch flying off shelves faster than Taylor Swift tickets. And now, with the Queen temporarily off the court, the league wants us to believe the MVP race is wide open, as if the rest of the WNBA wasn't orbiting her gravitational pull just a few days ago. Cute attempt. But we all know the truth.
Breaking WNBA news. Caitlin Clark is out for a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad strain, and our next question is, what does this mean for the Fever? So Cece is going to be missing the second Sky rematch since playing them the first weekend of the season, which is definitely a bummer, but on the bright side, this injury doesn't seem too bad. It's just some quad tightness. But fear not, Fever fans. We talked to Caitlin earlier this month, and she doesn't seem too worried about the depth of this roster.
So I think our depth is probably what I would worry about the most. You know, if somebody doesn't have it one night, you're just going to the next person on the bench and the next person, and you know, we're going to have to be able to find a way to use that to the best of our ability.
Caitlin seems like she has faith in her team, but we will see how this squad performs on the court without their number one player.
Meanwhile, back in Indiana, the Fever are quietly adjusting, and they might actually come out stronger without Clark doing everything herself. Her teammates are stepping up and revealing their true potential. When Clark returns, rested, refocused, and tired of the noise, she'll be ready to make a statement. Picture her storming back onto the court, sinking threes from downtown, and silencing every doubter who questioned her after this rehab stint. That's not just a comeback, it's an electrifying encore. Here's the real takeaway. If the Fever can survive this rough patch, stay competitive, and snag a few unexpected wins, they'll be a serious playoff threat. With Clark healthy, Boston confident, and Mitchell energized, they could become a dark horse with real momentum. Yes, Caitlin Clark is temporarily sidelined, but the league isn't slowing down. It's only getting louder. Now we've got MVP drama, rising stars, fierce fan rivalries, conspiracy theories, and Clark's eventual return tour. The WNBA's energy is only building, and even without her on the court, Clark's absence has sparked a new wave of excitement and anticipation, keeping fans on the edge of their seats.
Just as I started talking about Caitlin Clark being in the MVP race, it is announced that she suffered a left quad injury and she is going to miss at least 2 weeks. And this is such a bummer because the Fever were off to a great start this season. Caitlin Clark was playing out of her mind. She had already broken some records in the first 3 games, and now she's going to be sidelined for 2 weeks. We'll see how the team will hold up without her. Obviously, she's the primary ball handler, playmaker, and shot maker. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can sustain and just hold even at 500 or better, and she can get back and keep them in playoff contention.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, you know, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up.
Big news just released by the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark has suffered a quad injury, and she is going to be out for a minimum of 2 weeks. Really bad news for people going to games at home hoping to see Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. I was watching the WNBA. There was nothing on the TV, so I said, why do I just support women? I'm a proud feminist anyways. It was one of the worst things I've ever watched. All I saw was straight bricks. But Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. That girl can hoop. I will.
We're seeing in real time the Angel Reese psychological meltdown as she's actually being forced to grasp the fact that the thing that she is best at in her life, which is basketball, Caitlin Clark is exponentially better at than she is.